Is it too late to buy Casper? I don't think so, and let me explain why. First of all, if you take a look at Casper, it's sitting at the price of around 4 cents, which means that it's around 24 times lower than the price of $1. Despite the price of Casper pumping over 30% in the past 3 months alone, I still think that Casper is still very undervalued. Personally speaking, anything below 10 cents when it comes to Casper for me, I think is such a major discount. I think Casper this low in price is such a major steal. Not financial advice, of course. Seeing the price of Casper be this low, I think is the equivalent of doing the Finger Blaster 9000 for the first time in the couscous, if you know what I'm talking about. When you do that for the first time, you're like, oh man, you almost can't believe it's real. You're like, I'm finally doing the Finger Blaster 9000. You're like, oh wow, what's happening? The way I view it, much like the price of Casper right now, sitting at around 4 cents, man, it feels so surreal. You almost can't believe it's real. I think Casper being this low in price is so amazing. And now granted, had anyone bought Casper 3 months ago, they would have been up over 30% on their Casper investment. But besides that point, I think a 30% price bump in the grand scheme of things is actually not that big of a deal. And let me explain why. Because if you think about it, right, if Casper were to reach the price of $1, it's around a 2,400% increase in price. So if Casper were to reach the price of just $1 and do a 2,400% increase in price, does a 30% price bump really matter in the grand scheme of things? I don't think so. So when people go on Twitter and say, oh, it's too late to buy Casper, oh man, the price has pumped too much, I disagree with these people. I don't think they know what they're talking about, because clearly Casper is still very undervalued, and I believe it still has a lot of room to grow. I think a lot of people sometimes don't understand just how low Casper is in price. A lot of people, yeah, they get it, right? The price of Casper is below 10 cents. They think, oh yeah, it's low, but it's actually very undervalued compared to a lot of other cryptos out there. And let me show you what I mean by this. For example, if you take a look at BNB, BNB is down around a 2x from its all-time high price. And despite that, a lot of people, they like to go on Twitter, they like to go in the comments section, and they like to praise how BNB is sitting at a so-called discount price. They say, oh man, the price of BNB dropped so much. Oh, it's so undervalued. A lot of people think that BNB is sitting at a major discount, but I completely disagree. In reality, BNB is only around 50% lower than its all-time high price. And I think that's really bad in my opinion. I don't get why people think something being down 50% from its all-time high price is a discount. I don't get that whatsoever. I just don't think BNB has a lot of potential. I don't think it's undervalued like what a lot of people are saying. And personally speaking, when I want to buy a crypto, I want to buy something that's undervalued yet has amazing fundamentals. And that is exactly what Casper is. I don't want to buy something that's not undervalued, because at that point, where are the potential gains? Casper is sitting so low in price, and I think it has such tremendous potential. The way I view BNB right now, it's like the equivalent of buying a pet chimpanzee. And buying a pet chimpanzee is expensive, doesn't have much upside, and buying something like that, buying an exotic pet like a chimpanzee, I think it is very useless, much like buying BNB right now. It doesn't have much upside, it's expensive, and I think it's very pointless. And just to visualize as to how useless it is to buy a pet chimpanzee for anyone out there who, on the rare occasion, may be wanting to buy a pet chimpanzee, who knows? But besides that point, I'm just joking, no one's probably going to buy that. But besides that point, just to visualize how useless it is to buy a chimpanzee, I want to talk about a story that people may or may not know, and that is about a story called Travis the chimpanzee. And basically, Travis, he was a chimp that a lady in Connecticut bought as a pet, and she took care of it, she raised the chimp, but then just randomly, one day, out of the blue, this chimp decided to attack her friend. And when this chimp decided to attack her friend, oh my goodness, it was completely disastrous. So when you flash back at it, really, what was the point of buying that chimp? It's very pointless. That's the way I take a look at buying BNB. It's like buying a chimp. They're both very useless. However, on the contrary, if you take a look at Casper, it's insanely undervalued and it has amazing fundamentals as well. When you take a look at Casper, it recently crossed over 100,000 holders despite the mainnet only being around 2 years old. So I think that's actually very impressive. And also something else that I find very amazing about Casper is the fact that it's actually the blockchain of choice for the city of Fuzhou, China. And now some people may think, oh, who cares about Fuzhou, China? But Fuzhou, China is actually a very huge city. In fact, it has a higher population than Chicago, LA, and Miami combined. I mean, just think about that. LA, Chicago, Miami, these are very big cities. So Casper clearly is doing a lot of amazing things. It has a lot of holders. And I think a lot of people just don't understand sometimes just how amazing Casper is. And keep in mind, right, Casper is the first ever blockchain to ever solve the blockchain trilemma. And what do I mean by this? The blockchain trilemma is being able to have decentralization, security, and scalability all at the same time. And Casper is the first layer 1 blockchain to ever have all three. Again, right, Casper is the first ever blockchain to have decentralization, scalability, and security all at the same time. You know, Casper, fundamentally speaking, is absolutely spectacular, but I think sometimes people, they get it twisted. They see the price of Casper being low, and they say, oh man, that means Casper must be doing bad, but that is completely not the case whatsoever. The low price of Casper right now is not an accurate representation as to how well the blockchain is actually doing, because it's actually doing very amazing. And I know how some people may feel about Casper right now. Some people may think, oh man, when is Casper finally going to pop off? A lot of people, they've been buying Casper at over 12 cents, at 15 cents, and they may feel discouraged about Casper right now. But for anyone out there who feels this way, just remember that I've been buying Casper ever since 2021, so I'm down by a lot right now. But still, despite all that, I am still continuing to buy Casper on a consistent basis. And the reason why I do that is because I believe that times of low prices, like right here, right now, I just think that it provides me with an amazing opportunity to lower down my average cost when it comes to Casper. A lot of people oftentimes view low prices as a negative thing. They sometimes get discouraged by that, but I actually love it when I see low prices, because the way I view it is that the lower the price, the bigger the potential. Because if you think about it, right, if you take a look at the legendary investors out there, you take a look at Ray Dalio, you take a look at Warren Buffett, for example, how did they get rich? They got rich by buying low and selling high. They got rich by buying during times of low prices. When people were selling, they were buying. They were going against the tide. And that is why I want to accumulate Casper, especially right now when the price is down by a lot. I am preparing myself for the next bull run, which I believe will be absolutely massive when it comes to Casper. And sure, of course, since I've been buying Casper for a long time, yeah, sure, it doesn't feel great seeing my portfolio down. I mean, who likes seeing their portfolio down? But the way I view it is that the losses that I am seeing on my portfolio, I just think that it's actually an unrealized loss the way I view it. As long as I don't sell, I just view it again, right, as an unrealized loss. Only if I do sell, then yeah, I will view it as a realized loss. And I know some people might be saying, oh, if you're buying Casper right now and then the price goes down, oh, what's going to happen? And look, right, if I buy Casper right now, yes, sure, the price could go down. I mean, I just never know. But here's the thing, right? The way I view it is that Casper is much closer to a bottom than it is a top. That's the way I take a look at it. And let me explain what I mean by this. If you take a look at Casper as of right now, it is around 3 times higher than its ICO price of 1.5 cents. However, on the contrary, much like I mentioned earlier on in the video, Casper is around a 24x from the price of $1. So yes, the way I view it is that the price of Casper, it could very well go lower, but I think it is nothing compared to what it can reach in the future. I just think that the potential upside of Casper far outweighs the potential downside. I think that the ceiling of Casper is very far away, but I think the floor of Casper is very close. The way I take a look at it is that by me buying Casper right now, I am not risking that much in order to potentially gain a lot in the future. And this is not an invitation to buy, sell, or trade Casper, but when I take a look at Casper, it's enterprise optimized, it's scalable, it offers upgradable smart contracts and NFTs, and Casper is a leader in energy efficient standards for blockchain usage. And I think with all that being said, I think it's fair to assume that Casper is too fundamentally amazing to not have an insane rally during the next bull run. I think the next bull run for Casper is going to be absolutely gigantic, and I can't wait. I think Casper is going to shock a lot of people, and I don't think it's too late for me to buy Casper right now. I don't think that's the case whatsoever. A lot of people may think, oh, the price of Casper pumped 30%, it's too late. But I don't think it's too late. I still think Casper has a lot of room to grow. I think Casper still has a lot to prove. In fact, I believe that by me buying Casper right now, I am still very early. And if you want to know how much Casper in order to potentially become a Casper millionaire, make sure to go ahead and check out this video right here. I think you all would love it. I think you'd find it very interesting. So go ahead and check out this video. I think you all would really enjoy it.